Hi and welcome to my playhouse, and today I have a big box here, and I must admit sometimes I'm quite embarrassed of how lucky I am, because I am at the moment I'm at a computer party which is located in the tiny little city where I'm at, and yeah, someone there was watching my videos and he said, well, I saw you lost a couple of these Tiny Lenovo PCs. I brought you some more. And boy, did he bring me some more. So today we're gonna have a look at this box full of goodies that came out of nowhere. And I didn't expect this. So yeah, quite embarrassed to be so lucky. So there is quite the amount of stuff in this box. So the first one we have here is something that we have seen before. This one is a Lenovo Tiny PC, the 1 liter thingy, and it's I'll just put my finger over the license key. I don't know if I'm never gonna need that, but it's a ThinkCenter M72E, and it's an older one. I actually had one of these and I spec'd it out and I gave it away to a couple in Portugal for their editing needs. This one has 2 Wi-Fi antennas, so we're just gonna very shortly go into it. This tiny PC has the CPU socket 1155, so it is an older one. But you can still put a decent CPU in here. This one came with the absolute, well, it's not the minimum, but damn is it slow. This model number here says that it came with an Intel G470, which is a 1-core, 2 threads, 2 GHz processor, which benchmarks at about 570, so not very fast. It comes preloaded with dust here, so yeah, to make anything fun out of this, it would be necessary to replace the CPU. Also, this old spinning hard drive of 320 gigabytes, might not be anything wrong with replacing that. I am curious though to see how much. The RAM is located underneath it, I believe. Screwdriver is not very magnetic. We have one block. It's a 4 gigabyte, so that is decent for a PC this old. There is room for 2 blocks in here, so you can have a maximum of actually 16 gigabytes of memory in this model of PC, tiny PC. So that is not a lot these days, but yeah, it can still be made to do a little bit of work. It also has the Bluetooth/Wi-Fi module that sits right here. This one is an Intel one. So, yeah. Processor is a 35 watt processor, and for that benchmark it's really a waste of power, because that is 570 yeah. Today it needs to be at least 10 times as fast to be any fun. It's still a funny little machine. So Denmark is very much Lenovo country. We have lots of tiny machines and Lenovo laptops everywhere. It's very normal for big companies to use Lenovo laptops, PCs and monitors for business use. So yeah, these are cool. It runs off 20 volt. It has a digital display port, which is way ahead of this, as this PC is from 2012. It has USB 2, it has a ThinkCentre lock, it has VGA, it has a 1 gigabit connection, it has another USB port, has those two Wi-Fi antennas. I do believe that I actually got some Wi-Fi antennas to put in it. Something like that. You can just... Oh, that's for another one. Okay, so not like that. Like that one. That has a bigger hole. So yeah, I did get the antennas for it. So awesome. But I didn't get one of these. I got two of these. So this one is exactly the same. You can see all the connections are the same. Another Lenovo M72E. So two of those. As said earlier, I killed a couple of M93s. So these two can actually replace the two that I kind of killed a bit ago. So the next tiny PC to come out of our box of goodies is this one. It's another ThinkCenter. It even still has the labels on it. And this one is the Lenovo ThinkCenter M700. This one is a 2015 machine, where the previous one was 2012. A lot has happened in those 3 years. So this one has DDR4 memory, and that memory runs at 2133 megahertz, which is exactly 1000 megahertz faster than the previous machine that we looked at. It also has a newer generation of CPU. So this one, it uses the socket LGA1151, and this one is equipped with an i5 processor, not a quick one, but still it's an i5 processor, and it has the 6400T in here. If it's the original, the one that is in here, I have no idea yet. But this one was sold with the 6400T. This is another 35 watt processor, and it benchmarks at 4270. And this one, the previous one, that benchmarked at 570. So you get more than 4 times the performance out of this one for the same wattage. That's kind of amazing. So on the back, we have gone from USB 2 ports to USB 3 ports. We now have 2 digital display ports and a VGA port. Lenovo's newer power connector, the square one, USB 3 ports. We have a headphone jack on the back. That's not normal. I've never seen that before actually. We have a 1 gigabit Ethernet and additional USB ports. And on the front we have power on, 2 USB 3 ports, microphone and headset. So yeah, we should. I have never had one of these open, so we should. This is the first M700 in my hand. I am also excited to see what's under the hood. Okay, open sesame. So, seems like we have gone over to SSD, which is always nice. Oh, it has a finger screw here, which is though too tight for fingers. I'm curious to see what's under this PC was delivered with 8 gigabytes of memory together with that processor. So let's see if that's still the case. Which way does this go? It should go that way. Yep. Oh, that just comes off. Awesome. And oh, we have a slot that goes under the CPU. I do wonder what that is. There is like an M.2 slot here. I don't know if that's an M.2 slot or if it's the slot. What does it say? Does it say anything? Or if it's the slot for the Wi-Fi. This one also have the connections out the back for the Wi-Fi. It does not have any. We should try and take this fan out. Don't you agree? Let's try and move the fan so we can see what's beneath it. What's beneath the fan? Okay. I'm not sure about that one. Oh, it doesn't even go that way. It sticks out the other. My mistake. Okay, I'm stupid. So clearly it's that long. God damn. And I do videos about this. Okay, we did not need to remove that fan. And there were nothing interesting underneath the fan except for the chipset. Okay, fan back in. Sorry, waste of time. So clearly that's for an M.2 slot, and apparently it could be an NVMe because the slot is where an NVMe slot would be. So we're gonna cheat a little bit. I do have some of these, so it will take, this is an NVMe SSD, that would go in, and this would be an M.2 NVMe, and that also goes in. So I would have to go and check if that's an M.2 SSD slot or an M.2 NVMe SSD slot. I think that's the kind of right. So I'll check that just a second. So I cheated, and it seems like it's an M.2 SSD slot. Probably does not do NVMe. If I'm wrong, please do leave that in the comments below. But very cool little machine, and yeah, you can put in a processor that is a lot more fun than the one that is in here. I have upgraded. I do believe this machine has the same processor as the M93, and I do like this way of taking the disk out. And this is an 256 gigabyte Samsung disk, nothing special about that. So yeah, we'll put that cover back on. Maybe if I can figure it out. That's it. And put the screw back in. There we go. But I didn't get one of these. I got one more, just like it. And that's not it. I got one even more. And this one is a little bit different because it has the CD-ROM drive attached to it, like this way, and it also has the antenna here. So we might wanna check those out. So I'll just very quickly take this apart and open it up and see what's inside. Okay, very quickly took it apart. It's just that tiny little Wi-Fi / Bluetooth module there that is different from the other one. It even has a bit of rust on the connector up here, so that's not optimal, but other than that it looks great. 8 gigabytes of memory. So this model can be expanded to 32 gigabytes of memory, so you can replace these memory blocks for 16 gigabyte blocks, and you can have a machine here that will do 32 gigabytes. So yeah, there was another antenna on this one, so when I took the drive out, that jumped off. So those tiny connections are very fragile, I guess, but I will have to pop that back in. Secret plans for these tiny machines are that they're gonna go into the bunker and be part of the bunker data center. So putting this back together. This is the back of this one with the CD-ROM, and the plastic has not even been removed on the CD-ROM here. These machines has come out of a company where they are, well, when they're no longer under warranty, it's time to replace them. As I mentioned, this model is like 4 times faster than this model, which is only 3 years older. So when the previous model ran out of service, probably these were being think about replacing. This little wire is pretty cool. It goes from the PC USB port, and it brings signal and power to the CD-ROM drive, DVD, and it's even a rewritable. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But the box is not empty yet. So here's another one, and this one is the Lenovo ThinkCentre M710Q. You can see it right there. And this one is even a little bit newer. The previous one was from 2015. This one is from 2017. So there are some new improvements. So funny enough, the CPU in this one is the same socket as the last one. It's still the 1151 socket that is in this machine. But this time they have put an i3 in this particular model here, an i3 7100T. And that is a 3.4 gigahertz, but only 2 cores and 4 threads. So it only benchmarks 3777, where the previous one, which are here, like this is the double one, that benchmarked at 4270. So this one is actually a little bit slower but newer, but the single threaded performance of the CPU is a little bit higher. So if you have something that just uses one core, well, this one can be a little bit faster. But if you're using programs that are using all the cores, well, the other one is faster. So this is we have USB ports on the front. These are black, and all of them are black. So apparently they gave up on the blue color for USB 3, because surely this must be USB 3 ports. So we have two digital display ports. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the back and 2 on the front. So a total of 6 USB ports. This same square power connector, 1 gigabit Ethernet, and we have some expansion ports. I've seen that you can get an extra digital display port to put in there. First little machine without a VGA port that I have seen of these. First one ever. The first one ever. Usually they always have a VGA port. So yeah, inside we have room for a hard drive right here. I have a plastic thingy where you can mount your hard drive. We have the connector, it's a very small fragile one sitting right there. We have the slot for the Wi-Fi module right there, and we have a lot of extra room up here. So this is a model just before. You can kind of see there is room for a riser card up here, which is not in this model, but they made room for it. So that's to come. There's a lot of empty connectors up here that I don't know what's for, but some of them could be interesting. So yeah, but this one has a backside. So let's see if I can figure out to put this back in. Yeah, that will do. There, and that one goes in there. So on the back, you can take the back off of it, and there we have some more expansions. So this model comes with an NVMe drive, and it's an NVMe when there's only one slot in it. Unfortunately, they have chosen not to occupy the other slot right there. That would have been very cool if they had done that, but they did put an NVMe on the back of it, and it does come with some faster RAM than the previous one. This one is 8 gigabytes, but at 2400 megahertz. This is newer and it has more modern features. And like the previous one, this can be upgraded to 32 gigabytes of memory. So yeah, another cool little machine. I'm not entirely sure what the main benefit is compared to the previous one. Seems like a very small upgrade, but still an upgrade with the now NVMe. That might bring some speed to the table. So M710Q, awesome. But the box is still not empty. Look what we have here. And now we have a USB-C port on the front, and that is usually good. That means newer stuff. So this one is a Lenovo ThinkCentre M920X. So even newer. I got two of these, both of them with the USB-C connections in the front. I don't know that much about them because the serial number doesn't reveal what CPU they came with, but I do see that they are also only able to do 32 gigabytes of memory, but now we are talking 2666 Hertz. CPU socket is still the 1151. It does take some rather good CPUs. I actually got some rather good CPUs for it from the very nice person that gave me all of this. He has even 3D printed a CPU holding box here, which is rather cool. So you can open the CPU box like that, open it up, and the CPU is in there. And this is the i5 8500. This is a 6-core 3 gigahertz CPU, and it benchmarks at 9542. So yeah, the plan was to put those in these two machines. I have two of them. Awesome gifts, I must admit, not gonna lie. Lenovo didn't tell me what CPU was in these, but they did tell me that one of them, the warranty ran out in 2022, and the other one, the warranty ran out last month. And at the start of February, the warranty ran out of one of them. I think it was this one. This one has some black plastic here. I think that was the one that I was looking at. So let's open up and see what's inside. So apparently it's an i3. So it's a smaller CPU than the one that I just showed you, but which i3, no idea. Probably not as fast. So inside looks like this. Very similar to the previous one. This one has an antenna output port though. So it also has the antenna board down. But other than that, inside of here it looks very similar. It has room for a hard drive, and that is taped onto there. There's some plastic stuff here, but this one has magic. This one has the PCI slot on the board, so you just need to put in the riser card, and you can take this hard drive tray out and you can put something in here. You could have a graphics card going out the back, and there is like a thingy on the back that you take out. And so yeah, it has that. That also means that all the good stuff is on the back, the RAM and the NVMe. So let's go around the back and we can see that. This one pops out like that. Says that it has Windows. So now we have room for 2 NVMe drives and also 2 RAM slots. And that is an 8 gigabyte and 2666 megahertz. Room for one more, but it can be expanded to 32 gigabyte. Over here we have an NVMe drive, I do believe, and it's 256 gigabytes. It's a Samsung, so that can be expanded as well. So let's pop this back on, and the other one should be just like it. Very awesome little machine indeed. I don't think they're hiding much underneath this one. Where is the loudspeaker? Oh, it's right there. And yeah, it has all the usual stuff. It does not have VGA. So apparently these newer models, they have gotten away with the VGA connection. But it has the regular square Lenovo power plug. In the very new models, I do believe they are powered by USB-C. But now we have one digital display port and an HDMI port. And that is also new, even compared to just the previous model that I showed. That's two digital display ports. So now we have a digital display and an HDMI. Don't know why they've done that. Then we have a USB port and another USB port. And then we have two USB 10 gigabit USB ports. Kind of like the USB-C port, but in the USB normal port, but with, I think, is that USB 3.1, 3.2 or something. So you can connect something very quickly. So you can connect something quicker to that, like a 5G network adapter. And then we have a 1 gigabit network port there. And we have the antenna for the Wi-Fi Bluetooth thing. So awesome little machine. And I have two of those. So for my tiny server, these are small, powerful machines. So, but the box is not empty yet. So, but taking up a lot of room in the box is these metal brackets for the tiny machines. And I use those in my bunker as my rack. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those. Those two, and that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, because this one already has a metal tray, so it does actually add up. So we're not quite done. We have the two CPUs that I'm gonna be popping in, upgrading those in need. But yeah, just look what also followed me home. We have a whole bag full of goodies, like embarrassing lot of goodies here. So we have M.2 SSDs, 8 GB of memory, NVMe. Okay, I sorted it a little bit. So here are the antennas for the bigger antennas, and here are antennas for the smaller ones. I do only believe that I have two PCs that take the smaller ones, so I have three too many. And then I have the RAM, and then I have the M.2 SSDs, and then we have M.2 NVMe SSDs, two processors. So we have 5 256 gigabytes SSDs and 128. We have one 512 gigabyte NVMe. We have 4 256 gigabyte, and we have 2 128 gigabyte NVMe drives. Then we have the RAM. We have 8 gigabyte blocks of 2666 megahertz here. Then we have, how many? There are a few of, there's 5 of those. Then we have 8 gigabyte blocks of 3200 megahertz. Then we have 8 gigabytes of, that's also 3200 megahertz, just another color. And we have an 8 gigabyte 2400 megahertz. And then we have 4 16 gigabyte blocks, DDR4 RAM. All of it is DDR4, I expect. Yeah. And these are 3200 megahertz. And these would do very nicely in the ThinkCentre M920Xs. Quite the score here. So I hope you can see why I'm quite embarrassed when people come and give me this amount of goodies just because they watch my videos and want to see me mess around in the bunker. And I do for sure have trouble saying no thank you. So yeah, there is for sure a lot of videos in this. thank you very much for this awesome gift. You know who you are. But I won't actually get to it right away, because when you're watching this video, I should be in Portugal again. But that's just gonna mean that you're gonna get some exciting videos from down there. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again. And have an awesome day. Bye bye.